Alright, this comedy skit is almost ready. Just a few more edits and then it'll be good to go. Hopefully nothing important happens until then. Wait. What's... Oh, son of a bitch! What is up, guys? My name is RK Sonic, but you could also call me Ruben. And yes, this is not at all how I was planning to make my return to the channel this year. 2023 was a crazy year for both Sonic and myself. I've been going through a lot of changes in my life, all for the better. I recently moved, I started graduate school. It's been busy, to say the least. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I did not give this channel nearly as much love as I should have been giving it. And for that, I just want to say I'm sorry. Consistency has always been a problem with me in this channel. I mean, if you've been watching or following, then you already knew that. But I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each and every single one of you for all your support the past year, or the past few months, the past few weeks. Hell, even if this is your first exposure to this channel, hi. Thank you so much. It truly means a lot to me. More than you guys will ever know. I want to make this year the best year possible for this channel. And that was supposed to start off with a brand new comedy skit. Yeah, that's right, comedy skit. As of the time that I'm recording this, it is currently in the editing stages, but I can't wait for you all to see it. It's been a long time coming, I know. And I'm excited though. I can't wait for you guys to see it. But as per usual, when it comes to this series, every time I'm working on something that I can't wait to show you, something gets announced. It never fails. It never fails. It happened with Frontiers, and it's happening again, this time with Sonic X Shadow Generations. No, not the Sonic X Shadow fanfiction that I'm writing. I'm totally kidding, I don't write fanfiction. But Sonic X Shadow Generations that's releasing this fall. Well, first of all, I just want to say that this series, this brand, this franchise has not stopped its momentum since like 2020. Ever since the first movie came out, I feel like this series has continued to elevate itself each and every single year for the better. It's had a few hiccups here and there, but it has not stopped. And I love that so much. We're going on year 4 of this momentum, and I just feel like I'm on cloud 9. Like I'm in a dream right now. It just warms my heart to see this series doing great across all aspects of media, like movies, shows, games, music. Comics. It's hard to put into words how good it feels to be a Sonic fan right now. So let's talk about it. Sonic X Shadow Generations. So I'm not going to dive into the news aspect of this game announcement. Like, I'm sure I don't know every single detail that's been released since the trailer, but I will talk about what I'm excited about what I do know, and what I'm hoping to see, and also talk about some of the things that I am nervous about. Well, maybe not nervous, but like a little skeptical. So where do we begin? Well, for starters, that trailer was sick. Like, absolutely sick. From beginning to end, I loved every second of it. Like, no matter how good or bad this remaster ends up being, like, I can look at this trailer a year from now, 2 years from now, and just being like, wow, like, what a moment. Because it really is a moment. The way we were all faked out into, believing that this was just a regular remaster with no added bonus content, and then seeing Shadow pop in like a Super Smash Bros. Character, like, that's everything I dreamed of, first of all. Like, for Smash, I really wanted Shadow in Smash, and if that were to be the case, I would want it to be just like this trailer. I know Sonic and Shadow were rumored to get an original game together, like, towards the, later half of this year, but honestly, I just can't see that happening now because of this. Like, this game comes out in autumn of this year. That's already cutting it close, to be honest. I don't think Sega or Sonic Team would want to push a new game alongside a remaster. Doesn't really make sense to me. So it's safe to say that this is the game that was being referred to. So from the little bits and pieces that I've been reading about this game, like super brief before I started recording, first and foremost, Sonic Generations. That's what this is. This is a remaster for Xbox, PS5, Switch, PC, all that good stuff, right? But when it comes to Shadow, it seems that his story, is going to cross over with the main story. And I'm really curious to know what that means and how they're going to pull it off. I mean, I got a couple of ideas, to be honest, of how I think they can go about doing it. I think the most obvious way, in my opinion, is going to be like a continuation from the main story at the end, right? So after Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic defeat the Time Eater or whatever, that's when this story will take off. Or Or they can do it like Sonic Frontiers and rewrite the ending to the main story and have Shadow be a big part of it, like a way bigger part than what he had before. Or, option 3, they can do what they did in Sonic Forces and make Shadow's section like a prequel to the main story. And if that's the way that they go, to be honest, I'm probably going to laugh. Like, not in a bad way, but just think about it. Like, if it was a prequel to the main story and Shadow, who seems to be going through hell and back, like, through all of his memories, probably watch Maria get shot up again, only for him to come back where the main story takes off, or, you know, continues off, and just say,
"You've got this, Sonic."
Like, I don't know, like, this man just dealt with all this crap, and all of a sudden he comes back, he's like, you know what, they got it. I don't want no part of it. It's just a funny thought, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter which way they decide to go. I'm sure it'll kind of, sort of, mostly, probably make sense. Probably. And when it comes to what we've seen so far, I mean, like, I know I say it every time, like with every single trailer that we talk about, I say the same thing, but I'm not lying when I say it. This looks absolutely amazing. I mean, at least from a visual perspective. The graphics are graphicking, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense, but it looks really cool. It's a really nice looking game. Granted, Sonic Generations already looked really good and ahead of its time, even back in 2011. But Shadow's portion, I don't have words. I don't have words. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true or not, it seems that Sonic Generations is running on the Hedgehog Engine 1, right? And Shadow's part is running on the new Hedgehog Engine 2, which is what Sonic Frontiers is on, and Forces too, I think? Yeah, Forces. I'll talk about the base game in a second, but I just want to get this out of the way now, like, because this is why we're here, right? This is why I'm making this video. This is why we all care so much. It's because of all this brand new stuff that we're seeing for a remaster. It really seems like they're taking this, you know, simple, like really simple, one of the most simple storylines in all of Sonic, and that's okay because this was an anniversary title. That's all this was to begin with, and they're trying to make something really, like, serious out of it. I mean, at least that's what I'm getting from here. Like, be honest with me. Did any of you ever think after 2005, if you're that old, that we would ever see Black Doom again? I mean, don't get me wrong. I never really cared for Black Doom like that. I mean, he was in one game, and I played that game as a kid, and I, you know, never finished it, never cared. But the thought of him being back it's pretty cool. And he's not just back, I think he's the main villain of Shadow's story. It looks like we're running through places of Shadow's past and his memories, which is really cool to see. I can't wait to watch Maria get shot again, but this time in like HD. Oh man, it's gonna be sick. I can't believe I just said that. Or even seeing the Bio Lizard again, like in all its glory, in HD, fighting Shadow one more time, brother versus brother. It's a really cool thought. The animations look sick, the cutscenes look sick, just the whole thing looks really, really well done. But as we've learned many, many, many times before, just because you're pretty on the outside doesn't mean you're pretty on the inside. So what do I mean by that, right? What I'm curious about are all the little details that can make or break this entire remaster. Doesn't matter how good the base game is, right? Like the actual Sonic Generations part of the game. If this Shadow storyline flops, then the whole thing, I'm sure, will be looked at as a flop, even if it isn't. So what I want to know are all the small details. I'm curious to know how the Shadow control. Does he control like how Sonic controls in Sonic Generations? Does he control like how Sonic controls in Sonic Frontiers? It's been a long time since Generations came out. Could Sonic Team prove to us that they could make a good quality boost level for Shadow like they did for Sonic all those years ago? Because if we're being honest here, like ever since Generations came out in 2011, there hasn't been a game like it. They tried with Forces and it flopped. Like, not even close. It failed. They tried again with Frontiers, and even if they ripped levels straight from Generations and Unleashed, it controlled horribly. So I'm really curious, and I'm kind of concerned a little bit to see what they're going to do for Shadow in this game. Because now there is no such thing as, you know, it'll play like Generations. It'll play like Unleashed. No, now you're playing Sonic Generations, and you have Shadow here. How are you going to make him play? How are his levels going to be designed? Are they going to be designed around Generation style levels, or will they feel like a mix of, you know, combat, like Frontiers, like that open space kind of thing, you know? I don't really think so. Like, based on what we're seeing here, They're going for like the boost levels again, which is fine. That's what this game is about. But you have to execute that well. If you fail with that, then, well, there's your game right there. There is no like, okay, well, I don't have to play this. I can do the open world, because that's not what this game is. This isn't Frontiers. Another question or slight concern that I have is how long will Shadow's story play? If you're really trying to beat Generations and you know what you're doing, you can get the game done like in over 3 hours maybe. And if you're marketing this game and calling it Sonic X Shadow Generations and making it such a big deal, then I'm going to assume, which is terrible to do, but I'm going to assume that you're not going to make the game 20 to 30 minutes long. Like, give me at least an hour and a half, please. Like, just make me feel like I bought something brand new. Don't make me feel like I bought Sonic Generations again with some small, episode Shadow DLC. That might be too much to ask, I know, but you gotta set the bar kinda high. Especially when you're doing a remaster for a game that is generally well received by the entire community. And the last time you did that was just a few years ago, and it didn't do well. Sonic Colors Ultimate, even though I liked it for what it was, it didn't do well. And I could be the first to admit that even though I liked it, it wasn't the best that it could have been. Granted, it was being done by another team, and this is definitely being done by Sonic Team. I can confirm that to you all right now. But still, all I'm saying is, especially after your success recently with Frontiers and even Superstars, I hope that Shadow gets the love that he deserves, right? Shadow has not been loved this hard for so long, and this year is his year. So what do I hope? I hope that Shadow plays like Sonic in Sonic Generations, not in Frontiers. I want him to feel the same exact way as Sonic, to be honest. I don't want him to feel any different, because that's what I'm playing. I want the story to be, a decent size for what it is. A good hour, an hour and a half or so. I got no worries about music, because when is music ever a problem for Sonic? If I really could have everything my way, then I would also want to see Mephiles and even Infinite, to be honest, because those, they play a role in Shadow's history, especially Mephiles. I don't know about Infinite. I don't know if they're going to sweep him under the rug, ignore him completely. But if he made an appearance, I would pop. I'm not going to lie. I would pop out for that. The only other thing I really want to see, like on my wish list, it's not really a demand, but it's on my wish list, is a Super Shadow boss fight. Have him team up with Sonic. I'm fine with that. Have them interact. I want to see them, talk to each other, have cutscenes together. Or maybe we could even fight Sonic, like how Sonic fought Shadow during the game. So that's that for Shadow's part in Sonic X Shadow Generations. When it comes to the main game, the base game that's getting remastered, I'm not gonna lie, it looks the exact same. And I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, or I don't know, but it doesn't make me so happy. I mean, again, the game looks phenomenal, right? Generations looked phenomenal back in 2011, all right? If I pop that into my Xbox right now, I'll feel the same exact way. But I feel like if it doesn't have a noticeably different, like, upgraded visual on my Xbox, then I feel like I'm just buying the whole thing for, Shadow. And I don't want to really feel that way. Like, I know that's the selling point of this remaster, but I want Generations to look like a next-gen title. Or, at least close to it. At least a little bit. Like, bump that shit up, man. Just let me see this game in all its glory. Some people were critiquing the logo, saying it looks fan-made, and all I gotta say to that is, you bet your ass it looks fan-made. And I love it. I love it. I really don't want to say this because Shadow is right on the title, but it's got that edge, doesn't it? So, in the end, what is my first impression on Sonic X Shadow Generations? Well, my impression is I will be there day one picking it up. I'm so excited. I love Generations. It is a huge part of my childhood. When that game came out, I was 10 years old, and I wasn't really into, the internet. I'm not old like that. I'm 23. But, I never knew how to look up like brand new things, So I never knew about Generations existing until I found it like on the demo store of the Xbox 360. So I used to speedrun the demo like all the time. And again, I'm really excited. I don't really see how you can mess this up. With the momentum that Sonic and Sonic Team are carrying right now, it's beautiful to see. I'm really happy. I said it before, I'll say it again. There is no better time than right now to be a Sonic fan. But that's just me. Tell me what you guys think. Are you excited about Sonic X Shadow Generations? And are you also excited for Sonic X Shadow, the fanfiction, releasing this summer of 2024? Again, I don't write fanfiction. I'm kidding. Please don't, don't take this and use it later. I'm just kidding. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. And thank you all so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. Again, this is not how I intended to start the year off on this channel, but I'll take it. It's a very nice way to start off the new year, and I'm just really excited to see what comes next. If you enjoyed anything that you heard here today, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know how it is. Again, thank you all so much for watching. This is RK Sonic signing off. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night.